I remember my very first bull run and that feeling of getting in your very first investment. I was excited, I was thrilled, but I had no idea what was about to happen next. The market started pumping. I was not ready for it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to look. The only thing I knew was that I tried to look at my portfolio as often as possible. I looked at it in the morning. I looked at it right when I got home from school. I would look at it before I went to bed. I looked at it as often as I could, and it was the most exciting thing that had ever happened to me. But there was one problem. It made me convinced that I was a genius. Little did I know, it was incredibly impossible not to be seeing your portfolio explode. Any idiot in the world was having their portfolio explode. I was just another idiot, but I was convinced it was because of me and that I was a genius. Little did I know, it had nothing to do with being a part of a bull run and seeing your portfolio grow. And it had everything to do on when to take profits and how to do it strategically. Something that I had no idea how to do. However, once I convinced myself I was a genius, I convinced myself I knew when to take profits, and I ended up taking profits at the worst possible time. And I don't want that to happen to you. The next thing I learned is don't follow the herd on what to buy next. I remember being in this bull run, and this is before YouTube even existed. I was back in high school, and I was sitting there, and I didn't have anybody to ask. Nobody in my family had ever invested in the stock market. So there I was, a kid, trying to figure it out for myself and listening to the idiots on TV and people in the newspaper. And I was convinced they were geniuses too. And when they started talking a lot about something, I listened even more. And whatever they said, I started investing in that. And I thought I was a genius because the market was pumping and everything was moving up. So I started investing in more and more and more and more. Little did I know this would lead to my downfall, because once again, I was convinced I was a genius and it was me, and I knew what I was doing. Little did I know, I had no idea what to do when it transferred from a bull market to a bear, or how to realize that, or what strategy to use, because I had no strategy. I was blindly following anybody with an opinion, especially if they were in the newspaper or they were cool enough to be on TV. That bit me in the butt harder than you can believe. Reason number 3, don't buy during the crazy bull run. This was the hardest lesson, because when you're looking at your portfolio and this thing is pumping and you got people saying you should buy this and this thing is pumping and you need to get into this and you can't miss this opportunity and you're trying to invest in everything, the real reason is you shouldn't invest during the bull. You should actually invest during the bear market and ride the entirety of the bull, and then have a clear plan of action of when to sell. Something that I knew nothing about, nor did I even begin to realize it, simply because my ego convinced me I was the genius. I was just another idiot watching the portfolio grow before it all vanished before my eyes. I knew nothing, but here's what I know now. In a bull, you want to think about when to take profits, and in a bear, you want to be thinking about buying. And once you switch that mindset, you're going to be going against the high majority of humans on planet Earth, but that alone will lead you to significantly more success. Also, check your ego at the door, realize you don't know much, realize you got lucky, and realize you need a strategy. Number 4, when everyone says it, it's too late. I remember being in the first bull run and things were hot and things were heating up. It was the .com bubble. back when I'm 15, 16 years old, at the edge of my seat, can't wait to get out of high school so I can check my portfolio again. We didn't have cell phones back then, so I couldn't check on my phone. I was just eager to get back to my clunky computer with the dial-up internet. Took about 7 minutes to get on the internet so I can see what my portfolio is doing. However, once you read the newspapers and you see what people on TV are saying, you generally do what they are saying. However, the rule is, once it reaches that level where everyone is talking about it, that's a sign in the bull run that that thing, whatever they're talking about, all these different people who don't know each other are talking about it, that is when to take profits. The majority of humans hear and see all of that and they buy because of instincts. When you see everybody doing something, you do it too. However, in investing, when you see everybody doing it, try to do the opposite. That majority of the time is the right thing to do. That was a hard lesson for me because I was just blindly following the blind, and that ended up in a disaster. Now let's get to the fifth thing for what I wish I knew in my first bull run. And that is simply to create a strategy before the bull run even starts and follow it no matter what while documenting every single trade I make. I didn't do any of these pieces. I blindly got into the bull run and I invested at the worst time and I bought all the wrong things and I sold at the worst possible time. I did everything wrong, but if I had to do it over again, I would have a clear and distinct strategy before the bull run starts that specifies the rules for me to buy, how many things I can buy, how much money I can invest, and when I'm going to take profits and when I'm not going to look back, the distinct rules that I follow, and how to document everything. I knew nothing about it, and when the market started to turn on me and started to crash, I panicked and I sold at literally the bottom of that bear market. It was a disaster, but I learned my lessons and I've been through multiple cycles, and I've been covering crypto since 2017. I'm here to share these lessons with you, so hit the subscribe button. Do you want less stress and more success in crypto? Click this video right now.